Maybe it'd be like this, like when maybe they don't turn up. Okay, this like piece. Two pieces in one hand, please should be well. Two pieces in one hand, and three
When you see me dance, I dance like a weaver. Hope you are not connected. Guys, our for staying tuned. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. So we are back to our cutting tutorial. Okay, we are back to cutting of the dress. Open your camera. We are back to cutting of the dress, and this is the point where we stopped. Okay, we have cut this side. We have the main bodies left. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing is, as you can look at the style, it looks like so. This part was joined, then this part was cut out. That's this left shoulder was cut out. Okay, or that's if it's facing you is the left. If it's not facing you is the right. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this point. Next thing I'm going to do, I'll just extend this point and cut it out, as you can see. So can you see this, guys? I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so I've done that. Alright, now please don't forget to label your pieces. Okay, so that you don't get confused when you're cutting your fabric. So let's label it. This is, I'll call this the side, and I will just call this the center. However you want to label it, please label it anyhow you want to label it. And then I'm labeling this as well. This is the, I'll just call this J, that's to join, and then I'll call this side up and down. The same thing here, label up and down. Okay, so labeling is just so you will not get confused when you are cutting on your actual fabric. So I'll keep this aside. So next up is to work on these bodies. So as you can see, the drapes, this is the drape part we want to work on. And if you're looking very well, as I'm seeing, the drape starts from the shoulder. We have draping at this part of the shoulder, we have it at this part of the shoulder, then we have it at the side. For the white picture, the drapes at the armhole are not much. Just few drapes. Maybe just a slight drape at the armhole. And then we now have, after the bust area, say around this part, we now have more drapes there. Okay, we have more drapes. So let me just draw 3 lines for those drapes. and then we have drapes from this point. Let me just mark about 4 points for these drapes, or 3 points for these drapes, okay? That's following the white. And it's also similar to both, are just similar, okay? So this is what I marked. Drape at this point, then at this point, and at this point, and at this point, okay? Okay, so what I want to do right now, just follow me closely, guys. I want to connect these 2 points to this point. So I will connect this point of the shoulder to this point. Then connect this point here to this first line, okay? Then, so I need to make multiple lines as it is. Okay, so let me make an extra line to connect this one. I'm making an extra line here. So I'll connect this point here to this point here to this point. Okay, then let me make an extra line here to connect the armhole. Okay, so I'm connecting this armhole point to this point. Then I have 2 lines left here. So I'll connect this one to this. I'll connect this one to this, and then I just add an extra line. Okay? So I hope you're following, guys. I hope you're following. So I'm just going ahead to connect the points, okay? And at this point, it may not be straight, okay? You can do freehand. I'll just do freehand to connect. I'm using freehand to connect. Can you see this? I'm using my freehand to connect dots to that point. Then I'm connecting this point. So can you see this? Very simple. Then I'm connecting this point to this point. I'm connecting this point to this point. And lastly, I'm connecting this point to this point. Okay? So these points are necessary. I'm connecting this point because I'm going to slash and spread. Okay? I'll be slashing and spreading our actual fabric. So I'm going to cut all these pieces. And before you cut, please label these pieces. So I'm labeling this as piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, then I have piece 4, 5, and 6. I hope it's okay. Yes, so I believe this captures it, okay? Please number your pieces because I'm going to cut all these pieces. I'm going to separate them, as you can see me doing. So I'll be using the slash and spread method to achieve those drapes on the main bodies. So I have piece 1, piece 2 right now. Okay, this is piece 2. Okay, and please label as much as you can every way to ensure you don't forget. So I'm calling this S. This S, I know that that's the side that has the shoulder. Alright? I just know that this is the side that has the shoulder. This is the side that carries the drape plus the shoulder. So I'm cutting out piece 3. So every side that is towards the shoulder, I'm just going to mark it as S. I'm just going to mark every side that is towards that other shoulder side. I'm going to mark it as S, okay? So can you see what we are having, guys? Can you see that? this is for piece 4. And for piece 5, okay, this is S towards the shoulder. This is S towards the shoulder, S towards the shoulder. Okay, I've gone ahead to, this is what I have. I've gone ahead to slash all these pieces. So can you see what I have? Yes, I've slashed all these pieces. When you arrange it, this is what you will have. Okay? Yeah, so I have all my pieces set. Now I'm going to bring back my fabric and I will slash, I'll open all these pieces on the fabric to get what I'll cut finally. Alright? Okay? Okay guys, so at this point, I'm not folding my fabric into soup anymore. Okay, I'm opening it one way. I'm not folding it into soup. I'm cutting it like this. Okay, so just open it, not folding it into soup. So I have my piece 1. I'm just going to arrange it. Okay? Just going to arrange my second piece 2. Let me start from the base. So this is piece 6. This is piece 6. Piece 5. Piece 5. Piece 4. Piece 4, piece 3, piece 2, and piece 1. Okay guys, so can you see this? So this is what we have. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out this exact shape first before I begin to slash. Oh, okay, we are on track. We are on track with the bit of the dress. Okay, so I'm just now going to be shifting this up a bit. I'm just going to be slashing, okay? I'm going to be spreading rather. So I can decide that I just want to spread, let's say 2 inches, but what I want to do for the shoulders, maybe I'll just spread to 2 inches. For piece 1 and piece 2, I'll spread say 2 inches. Then for piece 3, I'll just spread about 1.5 inch. Then for piece 4, 5, 6, I'll spread about maybe 3 inches, but I'll just do that to see how it goes. Okay, so let me start separating. Okay, we are not adding the length, it's just the width, okay, that we are going to be spreading. So let me have my material arranged. So this is piece 3. Okay. So let me give another gap. So these 3 inches. Let me give another 3 inches. Okay, I'll add 3 inches first above for piece 6. I'll spare 3 inches after for piece 6. Then 3 inches for 5, 3 inches for 4. Okay, then, sorry guys, I hope you can see this. Okay, I hope you can see this. Then I have just 1.5 inch for piece 3. Okay, then I have 2 inches for both 1 and 2. These 2 inches for 1 and 2. Okay guys, so this is what I have. I've spread it. Okay, so I have 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 1.5 inch, 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. Okay guys, so yeah, so I think at this point it also depends on how much you want to spread it. You can decide to spread less or spread more depending on how much folds you want. Okay, so I think I'll work with this. But looking at it, I'm just wondering probably to reduce the folds because I had a length of 17.5. My total half cut was 17.5. Remember when I was cutting, but as it is right now, from this shoulder point, I'm having about 29. So I'm having about over extra 12 inches. Okay, so I'll just stick with this. Okay, I'll just stick with this. Okay, for now, I'll just stick with this. Okay, so now, the next thing, guys, will be to cut. Alright? But just be mindful. Be mindful that when you're cutting, you don't just cut exactly. Because remember, all these are not together. These, they are not joined together. So if you just cut as it is like this, you are going to have shortages. You are going to have shortages when you are trying to gather what you spread. Okay? So in between these lines, we are just going to bring out little triangles. We are just going to make little triangles, extension. Okay? Now this is, for these spaces, if you don't do it as so, and you go ahead and cut, you are going to have shortages when you're going to discover that your material is not, by the time you join them back together, you're going to be having shortages. You're following me. get what I'm saying? Okay, so we're making those triangles on both sides. So that by the time we gather, I just know that when I'm gathering, okay, I'm gathering, making another triangle here. I'm gathering from this point to this point, this point to this point, this point to this point, like that, okay? So I hope you can follow through, guys. And the spaces in between. Okay, guys, so can you see that? Then I can now go ahead and cut. Guys, you can go ahead and pin this down, okay, so that we don't experience more difficulties while cutting. I'm just going ahead to use something for me to just hold it down. Okay, so I've successfully cut it, and this is what we have. We have this very funny looking shape, but that's what we need for our dress. So just going ahead to even this out. Alright guys, so this is for our draping, which when we have on our actual piece, these are actual piece. Let me just give us an idea of what it looks like. So by the time we draw our gathers, we'll be having something looking like this. We're just going to align the neckline. Okay, and I'm also going to be cutting, I'll be using piece 1. I'm using piece 1 to cut out this neckline, okay? So, where's my piece 1? This piece 2, I have my piece 1 here. Okay, so I'll be using my piece 1 to cut out this neckline. I was actually supposed to do that with the pattern. Immediately I got my neckline on my pattern. I was supposed to do that here, but somehow it just skipped my mind. Okay, so but if you have the measurement, you can just go ahead and record the measurement. You know, we used 4 inches this 4.5 inches this side, then we came down, used 3.2 inches, like that, okay? But if not, just go ahead and place your piece 1 at the appropriate places, and then so by the time we squeeze our dress, so can you see? By the time we squeeze, we'll be having those folds nicely, okay, in the slat form, okay? So I'm going to keep this aside. Let me quickly cut that neckline before I forget again. Okay. Okay guys, so I'm going ahead to, I'm not cutting the neckline, I'm cutting, so this is how I'll place it. Then for piece 1, so we had something like this. We had something like this. Okay, yeah, we had something like this. Yes. So just to confirm and reconfirm again, because I don't want us making any mistakes. I just notch the middle. So I just notch the middle as so. Okay, and then mark 4.5 inches. This is my 4.5 inches that I used, okay? I'm going to place this as so, and place this. So can you see this, guys? Okay guys, so we have it, it's correct, okay? Yes, okay, so we have it this is how we cut it, okay? So I'm just going ahead to cut out this part, excluding this one. You get? I'm excluding this one. I'm cutting out, like this one will be separate, it's going to be attached separately, okay? But you know, as they say guys, there are many ways leading to the market. Okay, you can decide to cut out the neckline alone, or you can decide to cut out this one alone, okay? But I'll be cutting this entirely out, then I'll cut this separate on the fabric and attach, okay? So this is what I'm doing right now. Okay, so this is what we have. Take note, I didn't cut this one. I'll cut this piece separately, and work everything on this main body, okay? This will serve as a guide to get my actual shape. Do you get? Yes, so I'm not, the only thing I'm moving here is the neckline, but the body remains intact, so that when I'm done with all the draping, I'll be having my shape intact, okay? I hope you get. So I'm done with all these pieces. This part is ready. My skirt is ready. My drape is ready. My back piece is ready. Okay. Like I earlier said, I also have to adjust my neckline at the back. Okay. So working with the back neckline. Now remember, when the fabric is facing us in front, the good side of the fabric, this is what it looks like. Do you understand? When I'm working for the back, I'm going to exchange the positions. Do you get? Yes. It's important you exchange the positions when you're working with the back, because the position at the back is not the same as the position in front. Okay? So I'm going to exchange the positions and work on them. So for this side, we used 4.5. And I have here, the width I have here already is 3. So I'm going to add a width of 1.5. And then for this side, we used 4. So I'm going to add a width of 1. Do you get? So I'm going to readjust the necklines. I don't want it, I want it to meet at the same point. I don't want it to be asymmetric at the back. Okay, but the shoulder points, the width is going to be different. And I believe at this point you should know why. So that we have it balancing in the same place as the front. Okay? And then I'm going to just rework this. So you see, I didn't exceed the depth. I want it to have the same depth. Okay? So this is it, guys. We are done with the back. We worked the back. I'm going ahead to cut. Next thing I'll be doing is to cut out the side part and the shoulder part. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it exactly as so with allowance. I'm just going to add the allowance, the joining allowance at this side. Alright, so I'm just adding the joining allowance at the side of joining. And please guys, when you're cutting, please make sure you are cutting on the side of the fabric that is facing your direction. Let the good side face you so you don't cut it, because imagine I cut this side at the bad side. Okay, when I'm done, when I flip it over, it's going to appear on the other side. I don't know if you get. When you're working with asymmetric designs, let the good side of the fabric face you. Do not cut on the bad side. You got it on the back side and you flip it over. If you wanted it to be left, by the time you flip it over, it's going to be right. Okay? So it's advisable, let the good side of the fabric face you when you're making asymmetric designs. So guys, this is what I've cut out of my joining allowance. Okay, so I've cut this out of my joining allowance. I'm going to keep this by the side. Then the next thing I'll be cutting is the shoulder part. Okay, so this is the importance of labeling. Okay, if you don't label, you're going to get confused. Okay, so for the shoulder part as well, Now this shoulder part, I'll be joining down. You get, because this down part is going to join with the body of the dress, and I'll be joining at the side. So I'm going to add seam allowance by this side and downwards as well. Okay guys, so this is it. I've cut that piece as well and I've kept it by the side, okay? Alright, we are making progress. Now the next thing we are going to be working on is the mini structure we have at the skirt side, okay? Yes, and for this, to get this, what I'm going to do is to also get my pattern paper. Just I'll use this scrap because the structure is not so long, so I think I'll just work with this scrap. This has a length of about 9 inches, which should do me just fine. Then I'm going to get my skirt pattern. So I have my skirt pattern here. So I'm getting my skirt pattern and I opened it as well, okay? So I folded the pattern into two. The pattern paper, I folded it into two. Just trying to see how I can place this. Okay. So this should be, I'm going ahead to cut. Okay, so I cut it and I'm just going ahead to open it. I had a bit of shortage there, but no problem. So I'm just going to mark the same shape that I have the other side. Let me use this point. Let me flip it over because I need this side to be complete. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I have my marker. I'm going to mark 1 inch away. Remember I said this 1 inch is our allowance, and we don't need to work with our allowance when we are doing this. I'm just going to mark 1 inch away. Okay, something like this. I'm also going to mark 1 inch away from here. guys. So I've marked 1 inch here. So this is our main bodies, okay? So I'll just be using the length I have here, length of 9, okay? But I'm using this length of 9. I'll come in, okay? So I'm looking at it slanted, something as though it's slanted, say from this point. Okay, as if from the waist they came down. When you divide this at 9, this is at something like 4.5. So I'll go from 4.5, I'll come down by 5 inches from that line. I'll come down by 5 inches, and then I'm coming inwards just to create something like a triangular like line. Okay, I'm just coming in something like this. Okay, something like this, and then I'll come down the other side, say by 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and then I'll just connect to this point. That means the longer one. Okay, so I have something like this. Okay, I'm looking at it. What do you think, guys? Does this look okay? So if it's not okay, you can come out a bit. Let me come out a bit and see. Say to this point, and then connect to this point. Okay, I think this second one looks more like this. To this point, to this point. Okay? Yeah. So I'm just going to cut it. Okay, so let me just give you a measurement so you don't get confused. I came out by by 5.5 inches. Okay, so that's what I'm using. I came out by 5.5 inches. I came from the waist, I came down by 5 inches. From the other side, I came down by 2.5 inches, and then from the base, I came out by 5.5 inches. Okay guys, so this is what we have, alright? So I'm still going to fold this back. I'm going to place this on my pattern and cut. I just want to replace the shorty guys here. Okay guys, let me get a tape and come back. Okay, so I've got this tape to replace this side, guys. Like it's enough. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut the correct shape. guys, so I have, this is what I'll be cutting for that mini structure in front. And when I'll be cutting it, let me cut it for you to see. I'll be cutting 2 pieces of this to serve as lining, okay? I'll cut 2 pieces of this to one to serve as the main fabric, the other to serve as the lining. And then if you have lycra lining, you can use for your dress. If you don't have the lycra lining, at the point where you need lining, you have to use your fabric. Okay, so I may use lycra lining for this project. Okay, so basically for the cutting, that is it. Let me do the cutting of this part, and I'll be adding the allowances all around. Okay, in order not to waste my fabric, I have to cut them separately. Like I said, when you're working with asymmetric designs, please make sure that it's facing you, okay? Okay guys, so at this point I've arranged it what I want as so, and I just think I'll add, where I need to add allowance is at this point and at this point. I don't really need to add anything by the sides because I'm not joining by the sides, okay? And I'll just add 1 inch allowance all the way. 1 inch allowance all the way. Like I said, if you're following me and you have questions, please drop it in the comments section. Okay guys, so this is what I have and this is what I'm cutting. Okay guys, so this is what we have for that structure. I'll cut it out and I'm going to cut here and cut the other pieces. So whatever lining you want to use, if you are using a lacquer fabric, I suggest you use a lacquer lining or a stretchy lining. Okay, so this is all there is for the cutting of this dress. I'm here to cut the sleeves. It's just a long sleeve, and if you know how to cut your sleeves, please go ahead and cut your sleeves. But for the bodies of this dress, we are done with the cutting, okay? At this point, this means say a big thank you for following. Thank you for your patience, even when I have to go on a short break. Thank you so much. I'll still be doing the sewing of this video. I'll be sewing it. I'll be sewing it live as well, okay? So I'll update us on when I'll be coming live for the sewing part of this tutorial, and I'll also be cutting the rest. I'll be doing the rest of the, if you're going to use any gum, like for this I'll be using a
Shop.